Yeah, I'd be remiss not to say something about Toby Keith to start this thing with, because what he meant to me and what he meant to our baseball program is very important. And the stories I could tell him loving the Dodgers, and him calling me after a game and talking for an hour about the game itself. He was a big mentor of mine. He's one of the reasons that I'm the head coach at the University of Oklahoma. Um, and I'm going to miss him. Our baseball team's going to miss him. The University of Oklahoma is going to miss him. And the state of Oklahoma is going to miss him. So I'd be remiss not to start to talk about Toby Keith, because that's how important he was to me. I get kind of emotional talking about it because he was that kind of person. So what I said yesterday and on the Twitter deal, he never thought of himself before he thought of others, was really big. I mean, he breathed life all the time, and you could talk to him about just about everything in baseball or life itself. And so he's going to be missed. All right. Um, Talk a little bit about our team. Through the fall, we got a lot of new guys, a nucleus of our whole outfield that's back. Um, Up the middle of our field is back, except for our shortstop. Jay Nick's back, Carmichael's back. We have some relievers that are back. We have Jamie Hitt on the mound that's back. Spikerman in center field that's back. Through the fall was really a development thing for us. We really work on development of who they are and as men, and we work on their game day in and day out. And then we kind of work on the team aspect as we go through it. And we have a lot of new guys this year. The pitching staff's fairly new. We have a new addition to our staff, Todd Butler. He's a new recruiting coordinator. It's going to be should be a fun spring. We'll see how it starts. We've had a lot of rain, which is good for two things. It's good for our turf. We got new turf this year. It'll help compact it a little bit. It's good for deer season next year. So we always enjoy looking at bighorns. And so going through the spring, we've really worked on just trying to build those guys up, get them game ready, trying to get those guys feet underneath them. Build the pitchers up as we go through. They're on their uh, fifth inning this week. We started them with two. We've been going the last 2 or 3 weeks, and so the starters are built up to 5 innings on a pitch count. And then we've been throwing the relievers once every 2 days and trying to get those guys going. And we've had a little bit of injuries off and on, but nothing really substantial at this point, which is great. And just see if we can go into next Friday healthy and kind of get after it. Jackson Willits is probably the leading candidate right now. He's played really good in the fall. He's really mature, and I think that you throw him out there and get after it. Anthony McKenzie will spell some of it probably at some point, and but I mean he's day in and day out. I mean he's a routine guy. He's an organizational guy. He's a leader. The way he goes about his business day in and day out, he works extremely hard, and he has a lot of talent to go with that as well.
Have you settled on weekend rotation? Or is there still some?
Well, I think there's still some competition. It's between Braden Davis, Jamie Hitt, Girton, Brennan Girton, Kyson Witherspoon, uh, and I don't think you'll see Ghost in the first weekend yet. But also Will Karsten. Depends on Will Karsten's kind of the wild card. He can throw him in the bullpen somewhere to get him off, because last year that's kind of what we did after we started him. He had a little hiccup, sore as we went through it, and kind of stayed off all summer. Kind of stayed off, didn't throw that much until late in the fall, and kind of built him back.
There are so many new arms. It looked like just ball, one of the things that you really tried to, I guess, target a bunch of these guys was velocity. It seems like just who are some of these new guys, and who are you excited about moving in?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We kind of targeted guys that had more power arms, and targeted some other guys as well. But trying to get some guys like, uh, you know, uh, Lambert, has got a big arm. Uh, I mean, just to go off the top of my head, the Witherspoon twins, we got those guys from junior college. and we're gonna. That's where we have to do our bulk of our recruiting is junior college, and we might have to get a guy that um, needs one pitch to work on. I've been really good in the past of getting a guy that might has some delivery issues. That's got a good arm and kind of clean his delivery up. A guy that he might be doesn't understand the mental game and kind of help him with the mental game of taking it one pitch at a time. But Miles Meyer has a really good arm. We've got a transfer, Brendan Gurton. He has a power arm from Texas Tech. He's an Oklahoma kid that wanted to come home. Um, looking at the Atwood's had a really good fall as well. A kid named Reed Hensley from a junior college has a really good arm. Jimmy Crooks' little brother, Dylan Crooks. He's been really good. He was a catcher. Really, you look at Reed Hensley and Dylan Crooks. Both of them are catchers when they went to junior college, and they're really still kind of raw in the pitching side of it. And if we can kind of teach them as they go along to help them take it one pitch at a time, being in control of themselves, I think it'll help. There's some of the guys that we've we got throughout the fall, the late summer.
With all the new arms, how much does it help just having Easton back and being able to kind of carry what you want to do from a falling standpoint?
Yeah, I think Easton adds some leadership because he kind of understands what when a guy gets out of control mentally, and he can go to the mound and talk to him a little bit. Really, he can talk to him in the clubhouse. That's as much as anything. Hey, he's gonna put you through this right here, and he's gonna go about it like this. Kind of his experience has been around me. It really helps. With the draft has been as late as it's been. It's kind of funny. You look at it. It's July the 15th, and all of a sudden those guys are on campus August the 15th. And school starts, and so you got a month. If you lose so many guys, like we lost 12 guys 2 years ago, and then you lose some key components going into, you got a month to try to figure out who you're going to get and if they can start or not. And so you got to really try to navigate that. And I think Coach Overcash did a great job when he was here, and Coach Butler will do a great job. He's really good at navigating that. So I think the things that we've got to continue is to understand is we've got to work really hard in the fall, identifying all these guys that we're going after and going into it to try to fill those voids that we might lose in the draft.
How different does this time feel compared to maybe last year off that Omaha team? So many guys go into the draft this year, like you're saying, the lion's share of the lineup is back from last year. Is that going to help get things going a little quicker?
A little bit, but I didn't never look at it like that. I mean, nobody remembers you got second place. They only remember when you get first place. The world's different for winners and losers, believe me. And so, going into what we accomplished, I mean, my goal really is to really build relationships. Do I want to win national championships? Absolutely. I came here to win national championships, but it's really to build relations because they last forever. My relationship with you, Josh, will last forever. It's is what it is. I mean, it's what it's about, and it's no different. I think the feel of the experiences having those guys, how they go about it day in and day out, how they help us with the other younger guys like Jason Walk and Jack. Jackson's different because he's been around our program. Jason Walk and some of those guys, and you having Kenny there, all those guys help those younger guys because those guys want to leave a mark on the players that are here before, hereafter. And so, you know, Oklahoma baseball has been here a long time, and it'll be here a long time after I'm gone. And I'm just here to leave a legacy, not a job vacancy. And and it's all about the players to me, and it's all about building those relationships with the players.
Just got on campus. How impressive has
Yeah, James Ness kind of went through the gauntlet a little bit. I mean, he's doing both ends. He's lifting with football, and so when Ryan Gaines, our baseball ops guy, he does a great job of doing his scheduling. Like, I mean, the other day he shows up 15 minutes, and we've got to stretch him out, get him ready to throw an inter squad from football. So those things will navigate. It's only time will tell to see how he handles it mentally, and we continue to work on him mentally to help him get through those things. It's a little different for a pitcher than it was for Kyler. Kyler would throw 100 passes, come back, come show up at 5:20, eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, take batting practice, and go out and get 2 hits, in a game. That was what was always unique is all those scouts. Well, Kyler never had a really good arm. Well, how do you know he never took infield outfield? He didn't show up till 5:20, so it's kind of funny. But he'll only time will tell as he navigates his schedule as he goes through it. It'll some days I think that he'll be tireder than others, and we've got to really watch that from our side of it. We have a new sports science program that uses catapult, so we'll know that how much energy that he provides, or if he's tired or not as he goes through it, and that'll be dictated through our strength coach and our trainer as well. And we'll be able to tell because we're around him so much if his arm slows down. Like his second outing, he was a little bit tired. You kind of could tell, and so yesterday was better than the day before or 2 days before that. So it'll only time will tell.
How good of a defensive
I think we'll be pretty good defensively, with our whole outfield coming back. Rocco's played first base. We have a transfer in named Snyder. He plays third and first, and McKenzie's back. McKenzie, he can play anywhere. He's like a chameleon. I mean, he can do whatever. And it's kind of funny how you navigate through that deal. He can play first, and he can play outfield. Jason Walk is uber athletic. He can go the outfield to the infield. It's kind of what we wanted to do, try to get some guys that can kind of be baseball players that are extremely athletic, that can play all over the field. And now getting them reps to do it, that's a little different animal. I mean, you gotta really like, hey man, you're gonna play second today and you're gonna play outfield tomorrow. Just trying to get them enough reps so when they go into it, if somebody goes down, the depth of our defense is really a lot better and a lot healthier right now than it has been in the past.
Is this a speed team, power team, or
I think it's got a little mixture of both. I think we can really run. I think we have some power. Carter Frederick is, I mean, when you see him, you're going, man, why Venables needs to get this guy to play tight end. I mean, this guy's huge. He's physical, and and you have power with him and Snyder, and KP has had a little sneaky power through the fall. He really worked on it hard on his swing, and Rocco's got a little sneaky power. So it's and McKenzie's got some sneaky power. So it's in there. It's the the game in college baseball, if you guys paid attention to it at all, which I'm sure you have, it's about offense. I mean, there's going to score runs. I mean, it is. I mean, the day and age of I can remember one year we went through 3/4 a year. We had ERA was a 1.90. I mean, a team ERA. Now it's if you have a 4.5, it's pretty good. I mean, because it's about offense, and baseball is turning into offense where you can only pick once. I mean, they're making the bases bigger. The ball's a lot harder. I mean, these guys are playing with super balls and a super bat, and it's a lot different. So, and we've got to figure out how to trick them and throw balls through barrels. Maybe hit one or two with fear. We got to do whatever we can to do to try to get it out.
It wasn't that long ago that you had Brandon Zaragoza starting at short. How does Jackson compare in terms of just the readiness to handle that?
I think he's ready to handle that position defensively, mentally, more and strength wise. Z was not as strong as Jackson is. Z had, I mean, he could really play defense. I mean, I can remember the day if you hit it to him, we said you're out, and he had the first step down. That's what Jackson's got. He's smart, and not that Z wasn't. I think that through a course of a 60 game period as a freshman, Jackson will be just as good as Z because he's a lot stronger. Where Z was not as strong, and it kind of wear it on him through his bat, and so Jackson's a switch batter, so it'll help that as well. I'm glad you asked that question because he's very good at what he does. But as a head coach, I want to surround myself with other coaches, not including the strength coach, also Ryan Gaines. That those guys they talk about going to Omaha. That's the guys I want to be around. I want to be around guys that talk about going to Omaha and playing for a national championship. And he's like that. I mean, he's played in Omaha. He's coached in Omaha. he's built teams that went to Omaha, and that's a great thing. And he talks about Omaha, and I think that's what I want to be around. And he's done a great job. He adds some spirit. He adds some knowledge. He's older. He played at the University of Oklahoma. He understands the value of being a Sooner, and I think those things are vital to our program.
I know that obviously in front of you, but natural for the challenge of the SEC coming in the next year. How important is it this year to build that momentum, that challenge that's coming in baseball renovation, everything that comes with it? How important is that?
I don't know if they're that important as exciting. It's exciting to me. It's opportunity. Baseball, that's all it gives you, an opportunity. It's not a game of failure. It's a game of opportunity, and the opportunities are going to be. We're ecstatic about it. We're fired up to play in that league. It's a really good league, a really physical league, big stadiums, big fan bases, brand new everything, and we're going to be excited to play. I mean, I'll put our development system up against anybody in the country, anybody. I mean, just look at the track record of guys that moved on to play professional baseball, and I mean, I know what as coaches, I know what we got in that dugout in those offices over there, how hard they work. So I'm excited about it. They're excited about it. We're not going to look forward. We try to live our. I really, as a head coach, try to live it 1 week at a time and game at a time. It's about the present and the now because it's more important to get these kids to think about the present and the now than it is the future. And the future is, it's a ways away, and so we got to worry about the next pitch and really. That's what we've really been trying to work on and talk about is taking it one pitch at a time. And we've got to live it every day.
Houston at catcher, great prospect. What does he look like in year two, and what is your depth at that? You have to have two and three.
Yeah, he's Easton's a lot more physical than he was last year, a lot stronger. Um, he is not a deer in headlights. He's comfortable. You can see him uh, 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 really relax at the plate, really relax behind the plate. It's We have Scott Mudler, a transfer from Northwest uh, uh, Junior College in Florida, a great junior college, and he's very physical, can catch and throw. He's a left-handed hitter. Easton's a right-handed hitter. Even though the Easton can hit both sides, it's he can hit right-handers or left-handers. I think though they having Mudler and Mason Strong to back him up is really huge for us. It's the depth, like I said, is important for us, and I think Easton's done a great job of preparing himself for to have a good year. In good years, if he doesn't worry about his record, doesn't worry about his batting average, just worry about how he handles the pitching staff. It's pretty amazing when you worry about other things other than what's a result of yourself. And I think that's what he's done. Really, is trying to build a relationship with those pitchers day in and day out.
Let's get Bryce Madrins on the whole preseason team. What kind of
Bryce can fall out of a tree and get 2 hits. I mean, that's what's comfortable about him. Every day is he's out there. He's like a professional. He goes about his business. He works extremely hard. He understands his offense. I think the first 3 or 4 inter squads he had like 5 RBIs and didn't get a hit. Just driving guys in with a man on third base. Understands that he can play right, center, or left. What's good about him? And his leadership role has been really huge in the locker room of helping other guys understand it. The first year you come in he was a great player. I mean, junior college player of the year. He walks in there, it's all new to him. It's hard for him to talk and be a leader. He really led by his examples of what he did. Now he can lead by, hey man, you didn't work. Hey, you didn't get here on time to take extra swings. This game it demands you to spend to more time on it just than our 20 hours a week. You're going to have to get your extra swings, your extra reps on your own. And so I think that's what he provides that leadership and does that extremely well.
Coach, you brought up Carter Frederick. I know now that he's back, what have you seen moving?
Just getting his timing back as much as anything. He missed most of the fall with a hamate bone injury, and just I think Russell Rayleigh, our infield and third base coach. He's our new assistant. We got to hire another assistant this year, so he is really helping with his timing and understanding who he is as a hitter. And I mean, this guy's like when you see him, he's like a crash dummy in the outfield. I mean, this guy's gonna. It doesn't matter what's in front. He's gonna do whatever he can to catch the ball, and that's who he is. I mean, he plays hard, plays extremely hard. He plays so hard sometimes it's I kind of worry about it a little bit. Him getting hurt again. I think as we go through uh, going into the first weekend, more and more he's gonna see you'll see a growth in him every day. We don't really talk too much about what he needs to work on as much as how much he's going to grow, because it's more of a positive statement if we can talk about his growth. He's going to get better and better and grow more and more as we get through the years, as we get through the year, as we go through it, because he works extremely hard and understands it.
Jamie hit got a lot of valuables. How big is having him back?
Jamie Hitz had a really good fall. He helped his body a little bit. He got a little bit stronger. His velocities come up. He still has the same pitches. His command's always there. The thing with Jamie is he's pretty much even kill. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Very I mean, there's a fire burning. If you ever seen me coach a game, I'm really relaxed, but there's a fire burning inside of me like you wouldn't believe. He's a lot like that. There's a fire burning inside of him like you wouldn't believe. He's very very competitive, but he's really relaxed. He looks like he stays in the moment. Other than his pirouette trying to field a bunt last year in the regional, we were ragging about that all the time.
Talked a lot last year about Spike and Nicholas going into year two, stepping up as leaders, all that stuff. Now they're obviously back again. Have you seen those guys kind of grow into that role?
I think Jackson had a really good summer. He went out and played and had a really good summer, and so did Spike. Spike went to the Cape, and I think those two guys, if they come back and they start off good or bad, it doesn't matter. If they focus on the team, then they're going to have great years. If they focus on all the results of it, they're not. And so we've got to really make sure that they stay in a mindset of how can they help the team win that day. If you don't care who gets the credit, you can do amazing things. And not that those guys have ever been like that. I think a lot of times us as coaches, us as the media, we put pressure on, undue pressure on by not even mentioning anything sometimes to them. I think if they just go out and just focus on, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to catch every ball. Spikerman, I mean, he's had a great fall, and Jackson's had a great fall. I told Jackson he had a bat in the fall off Lambert. Lambert's like 96 to 100 miles an hour, and he's throwing the dog out of it. He throws an 85-mile-an-hour breaking ball down in the dirt. He kind of just spits on it, never even moves on it. And he throws a fastball in after he shows him two or three breaking balls, and he hits a triple to the right center. And his bat was so calm, it almost looked. I was like, man, if you can just watch that video as much as you can, how calm you are in that at bat, it's like you saw the ball right out of his hand, like everything was slow and easy for you. You didn't try to overswing. You just tried to just stroke it. And that's the thing that those guys got to find, and they got to continue to find is their strokes. We got to continue to find is our maintain an effort level when we get on the mound, just throwing the ball at target. Don't try to strike the guy because you can't control that. Just throw the ball at the target. Let your stuff strike them out because we have some good arms, as Eddie mentioned.
Good questions?
Thanks.
All right. See you guys.